Hey guys, it's me, the Doo Talks, and welcome to today's video. So for today, I'm going to be talking about the latest release from Chaos Over Cosmos called The Silver Lining Between the Stars, which is out now. So you may or may not know that I actually talked about their previous release a year ago called The Ultimate Multiverse. So just in case you didn't know, Chaos Over Cosmos are a progressive metal project featuring Rafal Bowman on guitars, drum programming, synths, and just about everything else. And this time he's joined by vocalist Casey Lyon. So also, these two guys have not met before, and they do literally everything on this album over online. So, the question being, what did I think of The Silver Lining Between the Stars? Did I like it or did I hate it? Well, let's find out. So we'll start off like we always do for those who want to know. The Silver Lining Between the Stars. It has 5 tracks and clocks in at 35 minutes and 11 seconds precisely. So let's talk about the first song, which is called Violent Equilibrium. And beforehand, if you didn't know what genre Chaos Over Cosmos was, the first few minutes will rectify you of this. It goes stringing straight out the park with this like wheedly guitar style, though it does change in places with it getting like heavier and faster. Though that being said, this is like the longest song on the album, and I felt that part of the song, like the opening part from like to the 5 minutes mark, I felt that was going to be the whole song, which is fine, but I felt like sometimes like that it can come across as a bit like self-indulgent. Luckily, this was quickly corrected when we first hear the vocals past the 5 minute marks, and you hear this like really cool scream, and it's kind of like a bit like Meshuggah style from this point on. And from there it just gets better, and I think this is where the songwriting really shows its strength. So I'm just gonna play you an example of that. And yeah, it just even gets better from there, especially towards the end where there's this like dramatic like tempo shift with the last minute of the song. So the next song is called The Last Man in Orbit and has more synths in, which doesn't overly intrude onto the noodling on this song. However, said noodling leads into like really decent guitar solos, which obviously showing that the talent here is obviously insane on this record. And I do feel like this song feels a lot more concise than the opening track, Violent Equilibrium. So the next song is called Eternal Return, which is a completely instrumental affair, which is like half noodling and then half like chugging riffs, which, as I keep saying, I'm a fan of. And it goes like that for a while, and it only just stops one moment when it just wants to do a little bit of synth, which with all those ingredients I think that elevates it higher than Segway status. So talking about the album as a whole, I definitely feel it's much more concise than the previous release, The Ultimate Multiverse, as with that I felt like the songs stuck way more in my head, and a good example of that would be the next song, Control Z, which for me is definitely a standout, as it shows they're not just trying to be riff salad, which, is not a criticism in any way, as I would love to be able to play guitar like that, but I feel like these moments fit much better, and this is a good example of that would be, like I said, Control Z. So the album finishes off with a slower song called The Sins Between the Stars, with the introduction of clean vocals, and this works really well and adds much more heart to the song, although it's not without its heavy moments, but I feel like that's done really well and doesn't take away the emotion from the song. So yes, my favourite part of the video, not. So yeah, I do have a couple of nitpicks. One of them is with the synths, which I didn't find too bad. Like, I didn't find them too intruding, but there was one moment, for example, towards the end of The Last Man in Orbit, just sounded a little bit off, where it was like they were adding like keys, and it didn't fit very well with the song in my opinion, because while the riffs were still going, and that bit with these synths reminded me a little bit of Changes, like the melody in that, just a little bit, and I don't think they were really going for that. Also, another one is the last song. While I do like the synths Between the Stars, I just felt like that song was a little bit too long, and I think they could have just trimmed it a little bit. So, apart from a couple of nitpicks, I really think that the Silver Lining Between the Stars is a huge step up for me. It feels more concise without shedding too much away. The songs work really well and do a good job of sticking in your head, and there's also that pure moments of riff salad bliss. The production is a step up as well, and I think Casey Lyon is a good fit on this project. So that was me talking about Chaos Over Cosmos with The Silver Lining Between the Stars. Have you picked up this record yet? Please let me know what you thought about it down below in the comment section. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It really helps out. Also, just want to quickly plug my socials as well. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll be including links to them in the description section should you wish to give that a like and a follow. So that is it from me. I've been the dude who talks. You guys as always are fucking awesome. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you soon.